Hi viewers and audience. In this video we will cover the topics you are watching in this screen. The title, why water course designing and lining is important, and some basic terminologies of water courses. Before starting this video, please subscribe this channel and click the bell button for the notifications of upcoming videos. Your subscription and the watch time is encouragement for us to spend more time and a little hard work to create more informative videos. Now we will start our today's topic. The first we will see the demerits of the water conveyance in water courses without designing and lining. The data collected from the well-known research papers, numerous research papers were consulted to extract these figures to have an idea of the viewers and community members why we need to design the water course, and if there is some resources we should line the channel. Water losses occurs during conveyance in water channels is about 46%. The very important, these figures are related to the Pakistan, not any other country and not all over the world. It is representing the research based information of the Pakistan only, so it don't replicate for other places in the world. Is very important. Please note that this information belongs only to the Pakistan. The 46% losses in the water channels during the conveyance only. In Indus plain of Pakistan, 37% of total command area affected by the waterlogging and 15% is severely waterlogged. Salinity problem occupied 78% of ground surface. Furthermore, 39% area is facing severely salinity problem. So to avoid these kind of problems in the agriculture and don't produce the culturable waste, save our land for the better future and better agriculture, because we are responsible to save our land and healthy soils for the upcoming generations of the Pakistan. The very important is, it was estimated up to the 50% of the water lost in the miners only, and same phenomena observed in the next from the Moga to the field inlet. So what is the result of this kind of problem is the affects the command capacity of the water courses. Command capacity means the area irrigated from the source in the unit time is called the command capacity of the water course. So if there is too much water losses, so less water will be available for the irrigations, so it adversely affect the command area of the water channel. Earthen water courses with improper cross section face a lot of problems. Slope, unnecessary slope or the lighter slopes affects the conveyance efficiency of the water. Unfavorable velocities produce the erosion in the unlined earthen channels. High velocities cause erosion at narrow sections and carry eroded soil as suspended particles. Low velocities at broader sections and siltation problem will be there, and it will reduce the cross sectional area and it will lead to other problems. There will be dead storage. It will adversely affect the conveyance efficiency of the water. It will adversely affect the command capacity of the water channel, narrowing the berms and dead storage problems in the water courses. As there is a high velocities and there is erosion, what will happen? It will erode the banks or berms of the water channel, and that will become narrower. Neglected maintenance schedules leads to the excessive vegetation within at berms of the water channels, and what will happen if there is too much vegetation, it will use a lot of amount of water that we can use for the irrigation purpose in the agriculture production by avoiding these vegetation on the banks of the water channel. Cutting through berms for the turnouts or borrowing the soil from the neighboring land. That means this point is very important. When there is not line structure or there is not permanent structure to divert the water from one channel to other channel, we cut the berm of the water channel. So most of the time we borrow the soil from the neighboring land, and from that field what will be there, that area from where we borrow the soil, that will be unleveled, and at the end it will adversely affect the yield of that area. Maybe if there is some water sensitive plant, so maybe waterlogging sensitive plant, so it will produce very less amount from that area. Rodents are additional reason of the water leakage in the earthen channels. The core concept behind the designing of the earthen channel is that if we don't design the channel, following major problems are expected. More water seepage losses, waste of land and can be used for cultivation, poor conveyance efficiency, reduced channel command area. When you design a water course keeping in view the hydraulic parameters, minimized wetted parameter, optimized velocities and hydraulic radius with suitable slope for a specific discharge. Resultantly, we obtain an optimized cross section with minimized water contact with the soil and suitable slope. Benefits of the water course lining: reduced water seepage losses. Brick lining reduces the seepage by 50% compared to the earthen channel, but after a few years brick lines start leakage. RCC lining reduces the seepage losses by 48% compared with the brick lining. RCC lining has reduced cost by 50%, less skill labor required, and reduced material cost by 25%. So these days in Pakistan we also see some projects of the governments, there are some RCC lining. Because the brick lining has a lot of problems, we will discuss in some other lecture as well. Reduced waterlogging, the benefit: the reduced salinity problem, increased cropping intensity by 10% to 20%, increased irrigation efficiency, increased command capacity, and reduced siltation in the water channels. Why designing is important for earthen channel? Simply we can say that the main focus of water course designing for earthen channel is to optimize the wetted parameter, to minimize the contact of water with soil, to minimize the seepage losses. Secondly, we select a velocity within permissible velocity limits that meets the following characteristics, such that not to erode the surface. Furthermore, minimize the settlement of suspended particles. In properly designed water courses, farmer benefited with the following features: minimize seepage losses, minimized erosion, siltation process is very low, although it depends upon the water sedimentation load coming from the canal. Properly designed earthen water courses also serve with the better water conveyance efficiency. Designed earthen channel results increased channel command area. Why designing is important for lined channels? The main objective of designing is to optimize the cost of lining by selecting the minimum cross-sectional area of flowing water which satisfy following conditions: optimized hydraulic radius, velocity within permissible limits, suitable slope. Resultantly, we will have the same benefits as in case of designed earthen channel, and even more are achieved in lined water channel. Types of channels are based on shapes: rectangular, triangular, trapezoidal, semicircular shape, and parabolic shapes. Which shape is more efficient? Now we will discuss. Most efficient shapes of water channel is semicircular and secondly parabolic. The cross section will be considered hydraulically more efficient. That cross section will be considered hydraulically more efficient with higher hydraulic radius and velocities, but smaller wetted parameter and cross sectional area, for same discharge and the slope. This is the criteria on the basis we decide which one is the most efficient. The most efficient cross section is the semicircular, but there are some demerits while we adopt in the field. And second one is the parabolic, which is in adoption in Pakistan these days. Now we will start the terminologies. Water course, that is the channel which conveys water from the miner to the farmer's field and used for the irrigation purposes. Next, the terminology is the discharge. Volume of water flow per unit time is also known as the flow rate, denoted by Q. And its formula is the Q is equal to A into V. If we know the cross-sectional area and the velocity by the water is flowing in the channel, multiply by them, we can get the value of the discharge. Area, it is the cross-sectional area of the channel where the water flows, denoted by A. Wetted parameter, it is the length of the parameter of the area of flowing water in contact with the water channel and denoted by the P. Hydraulic radius, ratio of the flow to wetted parameter is expressed the shape of the channel. While calculating all these, please consider the units must be in the same system. By this picture we will discuss the above parameters. This is the cross sectional area, the blue color, it is the area and the velocity. From this cross sectional in unit time, you can take the units feet per second, meter per second. In 1 second, how much this water is traveling from that point. So we can multiply this by the area, we will get the discharge. And the hydraulic radius, second is the wetted parameter. You see this point and through along the surface of the water channel up to this point, this length is the wetted parameter. That is the main purpose of in earthen channel, to reduce the wetted parameter, to minimize the water contact with the water channel surface, to minimize the water losses. And hydraulic radius, again, that is the ratio of A over P. Now there is some specific information of the water channel on the basis of their cross sectional. Rectangular shape cross section, see y into b plus y cot alpha. If you have the angle of the slope of the side, we can use this formula, and if you have the slope in terms of z, you can use this formula for this purpose. Similarly, the rectangular wetted parameter for the above shape parameters, and this is the wetted parameter formula for this second, which is giving the legends in terms of z and the y. Rectangular hydraulic radius, it is the A over P. The next one, this is the triangular cross section, this is the shape of the area, and this one is the wetted parameter, triangular shape hydraulic radius. Next one is the rectangular water channel, depth into width, and wetted parameter is this side is B, and this the depth, and B is the bottom width. So 2y, this y and this y plus the width of this channel is the wetted parameter. By using this concept in other shapes, we can also calculate this wetted parameter easily. And hydraulic radius of this shape is the A over P, by divided by b plus 2b. This one is the most efficient cross sectional for the water courses. This is the circular shape, which is not in practice these days due to some reasons we will discuss in some individual lecture, and these are the parameters of this. These days, in practice, this is the cross section, that is the parabolic cross section. For the area of the parabolic cross section is the 2 by 3 x is the multiply by t into d. T is the top width of the channel and d is the depth. and what wetted parameter you can calculate by using this formula. It's y and d is the similar. D is also the depth of the water, and it's noted in the picture is the noted by y. And the parabolic shape hydraulic cross section. See velocity. During the water channel design, we calculate the velocity. To optimize the velocity, we will consider this formula. This is the Manning's formula. Here is the component of this formula is the V is the velocity, N is the roughness coefficient, Manning's coefficient. It depends upon the surface. If there is iron, concrete, cement or brick lining, the values will be different, and you can find in the literature. R is the hydraulic radius and S is the slope. During the process of the channel design, we use this formula to select the velocity. And other thing, we have the nomograph to determine the velocity. See, there is procedure how to select the velocity from this. There are 5 lines. On the leftmost side, the slope in feet per feet. Second line, that one is the hydraulic radius line, and this one is the turning line. Fourth one is the velocity in feet per second. Fifth one is the roughness coefficient, and some values we have in the data. R is the 0.6, that is the hydraulic radius, and slope is the 0.003, and friction coefficient is the 0.02. In very first step, we will identify our point in the slope, and we will trace the second n coefficient on the n line, and we will meet these 2 points by a straight line. In second step, we have the value of R, hydraulic radius is 0.6. Trace that point on this line, and starting from that point, passing through the intersection of the turning line and the line between slope and the n, we will pass the line starting from R through that intersection, and we will touch the line at the velocity line, and we will find the number is 2.9. that is the velocity of the value of the velocity. Next, berm, bank of the channel is called the berm. See, this is the cross sectional, and this one is the, and second one right and left, these are the berms. Head loss, decrease in the full supply level due to the slope. By this figure you can watch and understand easily. This is a distance x. Due to the slope, there is a difference in elevation. At that point, water will flow under gravity this point to that point, and there will be cause a depression in the volume of the supply level. That is the head loss due to slope. Slope, difference in elevation per unit length, drop per unit length is called the slope. It is the slope. This now we will discuss the side slope. It is the slope of inclined surface of trapezoidal channel and is expressed as ratio of horizontal to vertical. Flow depth and the freeboard. See, this colored cross sectional area is the area of the cross sectional flow from the water is flowing, and in the water channel cross section, this one is the freeboard. That is to safeguard the some contingencies are in the rainy season or high flood time. There is some area we leave for the safety to avoid the overtopping of the water from the cross water channel. It is called the freeboard, and it is decided from the 70 mm to 100 mm, and beyond these range we don't select this safety factor of the water channel. Full supply level, that is the level which is designed for any water channel, that be minor canal or the water course, that is called the full supply level. Siphon is a structure that carries the discharge of one channel beneath the bed of another channel. Drop, structure used to drop water at lower level and dissipate the excessive energy, is called the drop. The final sheet of this video, right of way. The space fixed by the government for a community water course along its sanctioned route is called the right of way. Check structures. Structures that heads up the FSL up to the elevation needed for the turnout, that is called the check structure. Turnout control structure that diverts water from water course to the field. So our today videos is ended. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell button for the upcoming videos, notifications of upcoming videos. Your subscription and watch time on this channel is a token of encouragement for us. Please keep on watching this channel. Thanks a lot.